board like him to pursue a policy at cap in preschool at 18?
Yes.
Would like to see him pursue that policy? Mr. Harstead?
Yes. Sure. What is the staffing? Is there always a para in that room, or like there's never a para, or it
It
depends?
depends on our special education needs.
Yep, okay. It's, shouldn't matter, but it kinda does matter too.
Yes.
Like,
Yep.
Right, yeah, so the board would like you to pursue such policy and report back to us. Action items. Is there any member that would like to remove an item under the consent agenda to discuss? Seeing none, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, action item B.
It's really just a formality, so we have to be monitored as part of the ELASD grant. Our monitor is Janine Outka from Teachwell, and so there's an agreement with the state. We just are signing that we agree to pay them the fee established between Teachwell and the state. The state also signs this agreement, but we have to have our board president sign it, so we need a motion that he can sign the agreement.
Which, to be fair, I do not have for you tonight because Stacy
I was gonna say, I
accidentally
didn't see that.
electronically signed it, and so I will send it out to you guys when I have a blank version for you guys to actually see. And I'll get you to sign it at a later date,
Right.
but we have to approve.
But we need
inside
a
the
motion to
agreement.
approve the agreement.
Yep, before I never have you sign.
You can see Stacy's signed agreement in the
Is it in there?
drive.
Okay.
It's under ELASD monitoring agreement. But again, we can't sign that one because she's not the business manager, so we have to get it re-signed.
Yeah, so is there a motion, is there any further discussion? Do you have any questions on such agreement? Is there a motion, to approve the ELASD monitoring agreement?
so moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. All right, communication items, Superintendent, high school principal report.
Yeah, so our back to school night, I'm scheduling for Thursday, August 13th. The 12th, we are in Millbank, actually, this year. And so we will be attending that professional development with the surrounding schools. And so it felt a little unfair to have the back to school night on a night when they're not in the building the day before. And so we will have that on Thursday, and so we will publish that. And then we do need to review the open meeting laws annually. And so if you look, either you have a hard copy or there's a copy of it in Drive, and there's a copy of it in the red folder up there. So when we look at the open meeting laws, there are three major things that we have to touch on as part of this new legislation. And that is that we will be posting our agenda 72 hours in advance. And then we will have a physical packet available for the public to review the documents that we are referring to in our open meeting, available 24 hours in a physical copy in the office. And it's the same red folder. It's in the office 24 hours ahead of time with the packet made up. We do include the items that, like we added the consent agenda items and if there are documents, the monitoring agreement, we will have those at the open meeting, not necessarily in the folder. The statute says that we have to have them to the public no later than we have them to you, or 24 hours, whichever is later. So if I know of something within a 24-hour period of our meeting, it may not be in there if you come 24 hours earlier, if that makes sense. The second one is the third one actually, is our executive session. So we are changing the verbiage of that a little bit. So when we go into executive session, the board president will state the statute in which we are entering executive session for. So it's just going to be a little bit longer of a statement for a little bit more transparency. Alright, this is the annual review of the open meeting laws as published by the Attorney General for the state of South Dakota.
How does your, like, you always make changes to the agenda, how does that, where does that fall? You know, like, in terms of, just more just like general question, like, how does that work? Cause like it says here, it's on the back page, may agenda items be considered if it added less than 24 hours for a meeting. It says you generally can add or delete them after the final agenda has been adopted. I don't know, it makes it sound like after we approve the agenda, then you can add or delete, but how does, you know, how that works in terms of, like, we've always done that, you know, we add or whatever before a meeting, like, how does that fall in terms of public notice?
This is the confusion is exactly what you're saying it is. We are even taught, and I even had a conversation today, that we need to, if we have changes to the agenda, we need to do it before it's an approved agenda. You guys all found out at the same time as the public that those changes were taking place. I didn't email you ahead of time saying I'm adding these things, just so you know.
Right.
So you had no advance notice to the public. And so I can add those agenda items, or if I needed to remove one, I could remove them. That language is confusing to me as well. Once it's approved, I've always been taught, even in my coursework, that that's the agenda we're following for the meeting.
Right.
So yeah, the fact that it states after the final agenda is approved is confusing.
Yep.
I am probably going to continue to do it if there are changes. Now that we have to publish the agenda 72 hours in advance, 72 business hours in advance, so the weekend doesn't count.
Yeah, so it's gonna
There
be
may be
Wednesday.
more things that happen. Like in the next part, we're gonna discuss lunch rates. We didn't get until today, so we couldn't have included it on Wednesday of last week, if that makes sense. So with the advanced publication of the agenda, we may see an influx in things being added to it, but it's not for lack of trying. Yeah.
Yes.
Not that was the implication.
No, I wasn't.
Yeah. No.
Question of,
Yep.
I've done it for years and stuff, so.
Thank you. Is there any other inquiries, Mr. Olson?
The last thing I was gonna say is we attended the literacy conference in Mitchell, and we had 11 people go, and it was amazing. I don't know if the state knows. I'm just kidding. But they're per capita, as far as teachers, for the amount of teachers we have in our district, we probably had by far the largest showing of teachers who attended. We had a pretty big group, and we're a pretty small school. So I was very proud of that. Each teacher went into very different sessions and walked away with a lot of stuff, and so the conversations after in the evening when we were at dinner, or when we gathered to debrief, were very, very cool to listen to and to be a part of, because everyone's excited about the things we're learning and how we're going to implement them. I did finish a elementary schedule that does allow for a common intervention time. That's something that's been discussed, I think, with you all. So that is going to be something exciting to see how that works out for us as well. So,
Is there any other questions for Mr. Olson? Well, at this time, it's my pleasure to recognize two board members who are concluding their service at the Wilmot School District. Bryce has served on the board for 13 years, including 3 years as board president. Thank you, Bryce, for your time, dedication to the district, and for taking the additional responsibility of leading the board. We also would love to recognize Natalie Raymond for her 7 years of service. We appreciate the time and effort you have given to this district during your tenure on the school board. Serving on the school board requires a significant commitment of time and willingness to make decisions that aren't always easy. We appreciate both of you for your years of service and wish you the best in your future endeavors. So thank you too. Shake your hand.
course, thank you very much.
I need a motion here.
No? Are you still on the
You're not done yet.
I gotta take my cookie and run.
Yeah, give you a cookie, but you're not done.
I know, take my cookie and run.
Is there a motion to adjourn this one?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second. I was gonna say, do you guys want the honor?
All in favor?
Aye.
All
Thank you
opposed?
guys
The
very
ayes have
much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Somebody can take my seat.
Thank you. Natalie, thank you.
Yes.
Yes.
Good luck.
Thank you so much. I appreciate
Grant?
it.
Yes.
Okay, Katie and Emily, you can join us up here. Before you guys sit down, I'm gonna give you your oaths, sorry. Okay, so raise your right hand. And then, do you solemnly swear to support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of South Dakota, swear faithfully and impartially to perform your duties as a member of the school board of the Wilmot School District number 54-7, residing in Roberts and Grant County in South Dakota to the best of your ability and in accordance with the laws now in effect and hereafter to be enacted during your continuance in said office until your successor is elected and qualified. Okay, can I just have these? Do you guys have pens? Yeah. So, sign there, and we'll take these back. Okay. Yeah, you can stay. I now call the meeting to order. Are there any nominations for school board president?
I would like to nominate Mr. David Anderson.
I second that.
Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Okay, seeing none, I now hand the meeting over to you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Mrs. Argo. We need to nominate a vice president. I'd like to nominate Heidi Pelzo. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Is there any other nominations? Is there any other nominations? Is there any other nominations? Seeing none. Ms. Palzel is the vice president. Agenda. Yes, Mr. Wilson?
I'm ready.
You ready? Are there any conflicts of interest disclosures?
Yes.
Yes, there are. Okay.
So the first one is between Arnie Harstead and the Wilmot School District, as he is holds a contract as the junior high girls basketball coach for the length of time 1 year. You'll sign at the bottom of that one. The next one is board member Philip Ammon in the Wilmot School District, as he holds a contract as a elementary boys basketball coach. Next, I have board member Heidi Pelzel, who is employed with the Wilmot School District as a this one's for elementary volleyball coach. I have another one for Heidi, who is employed with the Wilmot School District as a head volleyball coach. I have a conflict of interest disclosure for Mr. David Anderson, whose wife is employed with the district as the K-12 music teacher. First name and then I have another one for David Anderson, who owns Route 15 Body Works, from whom the district solicits services throughout the school year. I have three for Miss Jackie Cameron. The first one is for her employment as the assistant cheer coach for football. The next is her assistant cheer coach for basketball. And then finally, an ongoing employment through the district as a substitute teacher. Those are all of the conflict of interest disclosures. David's on the back page.
So now David has to sign all these. And all of these.
Okay. I need a second if I move on.
Well,
Okay.
Do you have a question? Okay. You can ask. You can ask them. Oh yes, because you don't get paid from the district for anything. Or have a spouse who does. Yes. Just so that you
well, actually, you two are gonna be the important ones.
just to be also very clear, I do want you to know that a true conflict of interest disclosure is necessary if someone's going to make $5,000 or more. We, as a district, have historically just acknowledged any time money has exchanged between a board member, or the law states someone sharing a bank account who has a significant financial gain, so if a spouse gets paid by the district. So although most of these, there are three of them who are required by law because they make over $5,000 from the district, we just historically have acknowledged any time money has. Correct. Yep. There's a $5,000 threshold. Yep.
Is there a motion for all of those conflicts of interest?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second?
All in favor?
We will have to do a roll call. So,
And it will be the majority of voting members have to
Yes.
agree.
Right.
That's you too.
right. So, Jackie. Abstain. Katie.
Abstain.
Phil. Aye. Katie.
Aye.
Ernie.
Abstain.
David.
Abstain.
Motion passes.
Big decisions on your
I
first
know,
day.
right? I was just thinking, like, what would you do if we did like meld something?
Uh-huh.
You know,
Yeah.
like, how would that?
We can call our attorney.
Yeah.
Technically,
Yeah.
like Arnie and I wouldn't have to though. right?
Correct.
So
Right.
we
Correct.
still have four,
Legally, yeah,
Yeah.
so.
And that's something we can discuss if we want to like move to that route where we only acknowledge the threshold of $5,000 or more. We can, as more board members take on smaller roles in the district, but right now I'm just following the predecessor's sort of practice that he had in place, which was acknowledging any financial transaction.
All right.
Is there ever a point where that, like, the conflict of interest is like, you can't do something, you know, like there's
You
like,
cannot be a teacher in the district, yes.
and be on the school board, is that the
Correct.
only thing?
Correct.
Just,
Yep. Just teachers.
Oh, just teacher.
Mhm.
Alright. Action item A, consent agenda. If you look,
usually somebody reads these, do you want to?
I can.
Okay.
You can do. Alright, set date, time, and place of regular meetings to be second Monday of the month at 7 p.m. in the school library. Approve the bonds of the business manager and the superintendent. Authorize continuation of existing funds and accounts, and if necessary, establish new accounts. Appoint the business manager as custodian of all school district funds and as the administrator of custodial funds. Authorize the business manager to invest and reinvest district funds to the greatest advantage of the district. Appoint the superintendent, business manager, and federal programs director, authorized representatives for federal programs and projects, consolidated application including all title programs, Indian education programs, E-rate, federal school lunch, milk and commodity programs, and other federal and state programs that may arise and require an authorized representative. Designate business manager and superintendent as authorized purchasing agents. Designate Wilmot Teachers Organization as the official bargaining unit for certified staff. Designate the Wilmot Administration Group as the official bargaining unit for administrators. Authorize business manager to advertise for bids of gasoline, diesel fuel, fuel oil, and LP gas. Appointment of Title IX Compliance Officer as Tiffany Argo. Appointment of Rehabilitation Act 504 Compliance Officer as Nicholas Olson. Appoint the Title Programs Compliance Officer as Nicholas Olson. Appoint the Safe Drug and Gun-Free Compliance Officer as Nicholas Olson. Designation of official depository as the Midwest Bank. Designation of official newspaper as the Grant County Review. Approve the following board resolutions. The business manager will publish a list of employees and salaries with July minutes. Designate truancy officers for the Wilmot School District. It is the building principals. Authorize the superintendent to close the school in emergency situations and set the chain of command in the event of the superintendent's absence as follows. The superintendent and elementary principal, then the junior high school principal, and then the business manager. Set district mileage as the state rate, the meal reimbursement as the state rate, and the lodging rates upon receipt. Approve Rodney Freeman and KSB Law as the school attorneys.
That's the consent agenda. Is there any item on the consent agenda a member would like to remove for discussion? Seeing none. All in favor? Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Alright, action item B, set school board salary. Currently it's at $65, you want me to read that? Okay. Currently it's at $65 per month and 25 and per out of town meeting plus mileage rate, 70 cents per mile state rate, local special meeting rate, $40 per meeting, and family activities passes for each board member.
I'll make a motion to leave it as is. Second.
Alright. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it.
Point of clarification for the new members. And the year in parentheses at the end is the last time that has been updated. Okay, just making sure that we, for the most part.
Action item C, if you look there, set substitute teacher rate at $130 per day. That 23 and 65 for a half a day, $26 per hour in the building. Certified teacher subs, long-term pay for subs, $200 a day. For all classified subs, $14 per hour. Is that 23?
Mhm.
Sub bus drivers, $1 a mile with $40 minimum and a $60 maximum per route. Mini bus rate is $25 per route, and coaches and advisors, CDL bus drivers, $15 per hour.
We took that one out last year. That was not updated in the agenda.
Okay.
It is just each minibus activity route, or each minibus regular route is $25 a route.
So each route is $25 a route.
Minibus.
Minibus.
So just the last thing should have been struck
Yeah.
from the.
Okay.
We did have a conversation, to make us more competitive with our area schools. We would recommend upping the sub pay from $130 to $140 and from 65 to 70. That reflects a more accurate competitive rate. We will never get to our biggest competitor who's paying our long-term sub rate on a daily basis. They're across the state line. So we just feel to get a little bit closer, we could up it since it's been 2-3 years since it's been done.
So you'd like to see the sub teacher rate to go from 130 to 140
Yes,
per day?
and then the half day from 65 to 70.
65 to 70.
Yep. I don't know, that's pretty close to what our actual classified
Board, what would you like to do? Do you-
Do you have any, the bus driver rates sufficient?
I think so.
Okay.
Mhm.
Mr. Ammon, your thoughts?
It always comes down to how difficult is it to fill these positions? Can you fill it at $14 an hour versus, I mean, like,
It's actually very good.
I'd
It's
go up to 15, but whatever, you know, like, it just depends on
That
if
would
you
be
got
it.
people knocking down your door or not, I guess.
They're not, especially for those positions, and it comes from a variety. It's not just pay; it's also the duties of the job, right? But so I do think it could make it more competitive or desirable if we upped it to 15. I think that's reasonable.
Yeah, fine with me.
I'm with that. I'm with that.
Yeah, I would make a motion on that.
So we have a motion for, how do you wanna restate it?
Yep, I make a motion that we set substitute teacher pay at 140 per day, 70 for half day, 26 per hour in building certified, long-term subs for 200, classified subs $15 an hour, sub drivers and minibus rates remain the same.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it.
I did that abstain.
I'm sorry, I didn't,
So, that's what
I apologize. So we have a motion and a second, now we need a roll call.
Heidi,
Aye.
Phil,
Yeah.
Jackie,
Abstain.
Emily, Katie,
Aye.
Arnie,
Aye.
David.
Aye.
Perfect, thank you guys.
It's like my first meeting. All right, action item D.
Clerical error there. It should be for the 26-27 school year.
Yeah, for the 26-27 school year. Establish admission charges for the school activities and activity prices and driver's education. If you see there's this nice handy dandy chart. School board, what would you like to do?
Will we have recommendations from the state?
Yes, so this is where he said I didn't have the numbers on lunch until today when I was almost finishing the e-service application for this next year. And for breakfast, I would like to see that go to 165. And then pre-K through 6, now, lunch, 305. And then 7 through 12 lunch, 320. And a little bit of background with that, there is a calculator that the state has, us fill out with what prices they would like to see, and we're always behind, that's how it is, and that's okay. But, if I can pull it up here. Adults will probably move too. They would like our average, lunch meal to be $3.54. So, we're gonna stay significantly below that, even by increasing it, what we're increasing. And I would like to see it significantly below what we are gonna have to increase. We had a $30,000 loss last year on food service alone, so we're gonna have to increase it some.
Right, these increases won't cover the $30,000 loss though.
No.
The math doesn't math on that.
But
Gets you closer.
food service is historically,
Lose
a
money.
fund that does not ever make money, ever.
They're not allowed to. First
Well, they're not
of all.
allowed to,
Right.
but
But
we
you
shouldn't
don't
be-
have to lose
we
as
should be
much.
losing either. Board, your thoughts or,
I think we go with the recommendation.
and Mr. Harstead,
Sounds good to me.
Mr. Chicone,
Sounds good.
Ms. Henniger? Is there a motion?
So move. Oh, I should probably state it. I make a motion to increase breakfast fees to $1.65 for students, pre-K through 6 to 305, 7 through 12 to 320.
Do you wanna? We have to approve the rest of the ticket prices.
And
the
all the-
tickets and driver's ed.
Yep, I make a motion for all of that.
So I'm just gonna throw out there that odds are the adult, lunch prices for sure will have to go up.
Oh, we haven't received that information.
No, we,
Okay.
which I'm recommending setting that at 525. It was 515 last year. That's not updated in your agenda either, I don't believe. And that was the minimum that they let us do last year, so I'm sure it's gonna increase again.
Okay.
Does it say?
I was gonna say I think I updated it with your recommendation.
Oh, did you?
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, so that is my recommendation there, and then keep seconds or extra prices the same as last year. Last year, the board did agree to cover, was what, $2,000 worth of like seconds to keep those prices the same. I don't have a figure for that for this year. It will be more than that though. I will send out an email when you have that information, but I guess I'm recommending that the board continues to cover it so we can keep our second prices the same.
Sounds good.
So Heidi, could you please restate your motion?
Yes, okay, so I will make a motion.
Before you go through all that, can I ask a question?
Mhm.
As far as the driver's ed, are we at the standard or area for us?
Oh, we did a survey, was it a year or two?
I think it was a year ago, and we were low and we raised
We
it.
were, and we did raise it. I will say from this last year, though, we were, what did I just transfer, like $800 under what it costs to have an in for driver's ed as a whole.
So we lost $800 on it. So we're still low in the area.
Do we wanna increase the fees on that?
Okay. I'm not opposed to it. I wouldn't say raise it astronomically, like if you
So
raise it.
$250
Yeah.
for district and $400 for out?
May I suggest maybe going up to like $375 instead of the $400, jumping to $50?
Oh.
I don't know how, like, is there a number of how many out of district students attended this year or in the last few years?
Yep, we had 3.
Something like $25.
Okay.
Is there any other discussion before the motion?
You want adult breakfast?
Yeah, what was it this last time? I don't remember in here.
Well, you said $525 for 25.
Yeah,
Breakfast.
For breakfast.
Oh, breakfast.
$250.
$250, sorry.
I'm pretty sure it was $285 if my memory serves me right, so. Yeah, probably.
You would,
$3?
Yeah. If you guys are good with that.
Can I ask, sorry, one more question, that's fine. With preschool, are they required to then eat breakfast here like they had in the past, or is that something that's changing? I feel like it's been a while since I've had something in preschool, but
Right.
previously they were required to eat
Right.
breakfast and lunch, cause they did it like as a community. I believe that changed this year and they
Sure.
did, but I didn't know if breakfast was required.
I believe they all went in there for breakfast.
Yeah.
Whether the kids were required to eat or not, I don't know.
They were not.
So,
No.
When I subbed
But
it,
they
all
all
not
did.
required
they
to
all
eat,
did.
But they all
so.
attend,
Yeah.
okay.
Correct. Cause wouldn't be something I don't think legally sound for us to mandate they pay for breakfast, so, yeah. If they wanna bring their own breakfast and eat it at that time, they can do that as well, but yeah, they do eat as communally, as a.
So they still, sorry, I didn't mean make them, but like they still
Yeah.
continue to do,
Yeah.
offer the
Yep.
community,
Yep,
but they pay for it.
they eat at a
Okay.
different time, yeah, it's in their schedule.
Okay. I'm done now.
Alright, so we need a motion to establish the admission charges for the school activities, ticket prices, driver's edge, and school lunches. Is there a motion? Is we gonna make that motion?
So moved.
What, you?
Would you like me to read them all?
Yes, I want you to read them all.
Alright, I make a motion to approve breakfast fees of $1.65 for students and $3 for adults. Lunch fees of pre-K through 6 for $3.05, 7 through 12 for $3.20, the adult fee being $5.25, with extra milk at 50 cents, a seconds breakfast at $1, and lunch at $1.50. Ticket prices being student $4, adult $6, student doubleheader 6, adult doubleheader 8. Activity tickets for Wilmot students being free, adults are $50, family pass is $80, and golden age is free. And then driver's ed fees to be, in-district students at $250 and out-of-district at $375.
Is there a second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you. Alright, appoint board representatives and committees. I am going to appoint to the NESC Emily Henninger. The alternative will be Jackie Cameron, and the third alternative, Philip Ammon. Personnel and Budget Committee will be Philip Ammon, Arnie Harsted, and Katie Triconi. Building and Grounds Committee will be David Anderson, Arnie Harsted, and Emily Henninger. Transportation Committee, David Anderson, Arnie Harsted, and Katie Triconi. Legislative Chair, Arnie Harsted. Policy Review, Philip Ammon, Emily Henninger, Heidi Pelzo. Community Liaison, Jackie Cameron, Emily Henninger, and Katie Triconi. Tech Committee, Jackie Cameron. Internal Audit Committee, David Anderson and Heidi Pelzo. WASP, Jackie Cameron and Katie Triconi. Food Service, Jackie Cameron and Heidi Pelzo.
Did you say the daycare one?
The daycare one?
Daycare's with WASP.
That's WASP.
Oh, so now it's all
Yes.
together.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
I know, that's what she said. Okay,
Okay, I think
should
that's the
we
only
just
one I
say them all one more time?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so NESC is gonna be Emily Henninger with, alternates of Jackie Cameron, and then third is, Phil Ammon. Personnel Budget is Phil Ammon, Arnie Harsted, and Katie Triconi. Building and Grounds Committee is David Anderson, Arnie Harsted, Emily Henninger. Transportation is David Anderson, Arnie Harsted, Katie Triconi. Legislative Chair is gonna be Arnie Harsted. Policy Review is Phil Ammon, Emily Henninger, and Heidi Pelzo. And then Community Liaison, Jackie Cameron, Emily Henninger, Katie Triconi. Tech is gonna be Jackie Cameron. Internal Audit is David Anderson and Heidi Pelzo. WASP Daycare is Jackie Cameron and Katie Triconi. And then Food Service is Jackie Cameron and Heidi Pelzo.
Alright, that's our new committees. We will be having a transportation committee this week. Next item is item F.
That's me.
Yes.
Okay.
Approve 26-27 handbook and policy.
And quite literally, there are 26 or 27 red line policies. I'm not gonna bore you with all of the details. If you go in, you can see all of them. They're again printed in there next to Mr. Hansen. The attorneys really just cleaned up a lot of numerical things that were wrong, like codified laws were labeled incorrectly. There was a 3 when there should have been a 2, that type of thing. But because we adopt these directly from the attorneys, we sort of take them at face value. And so when they make those changes, we adopt those changes because they've been vetted by them. One of the most important ones, I guess, important is loose. If you look at number 5009, it says adult education, and it has been completely redlined. They would like us to strike that from our policy book. So when something major like that happens, I want to inform you of that. It was essentially that we will educate the community at large, the adults in the community at large when necessary. They just don't think that there needs to be a policy about that. Additionally, they're adding policy 4063, which is AI usage by our staff personnel. It also will be then reflected in the staff handbook. What it states is that staff are not allowed to input FERPA protected information, so students' privacy, personal information or educational information into AI, because there are not as many safeguards as there should be unless it is a school approved, which means that it would go through a vetting process to ensure that we have safeguards in place to protect our students' FERPA information. Make sense? It also states that it can't do grading for students. Again, that's FERPA protected information, so we can't have teachers just putting assignments into an AI tool and having it doing all of the work for them. So it says it can be used to help write passages at grade level, or it can help them refine their lesson plans or differentiate assignments, things like that, but not anything to do with student protected information. Okay? So that's 4063. Otherwise, again, we've adopted all of the rest of these previously. It's just updating some of the language that they got wrong. Some of it is, and Emily, I appreciate the time you took to go through every single one of them. That's impressive. But as you caught, there are some just grammatical errors. They used, what was one of them? They didn't use certificate correctly. They were like certificating, and it should have been certificate. And so just cleaning up some misspellings and misalignments. So again, those are the two biggest ones. Number one was the removal completely of 5009, and then the addition of 4063. Okay. Secondly, we have handbooks. Now, handbooks are, you approve them, yes, but they are administrated through the administrative offices, and so they do have some more flexibility to them. Unlike the policies, the handbooks have to reflect the policies that you all set, if that makes sense. I learned that I did this very differently than you are used to, and so I will go back to the way that you are used to next year. But I've done what I've done. We are where we're at, okay? The redlined things in the policy book were mandatory reporters are now to include coaches specifically. So instead of all staff, or all staff, and then it went into the must report, it's all staff, including coaches, have to report suspected abuse. Okay? It's one of the biggies. And then the addition of that AI policy, 4063, found its way also into the staff handbook. Okay?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Why do you feel like you need to go back to the old one?
The way that it was I put in what the attorneys gave us, and I have made the edits on our end, so that way when this meeting is concluded, if you approve all of them, I can publish them tomorrow. So I've done all of the work reading them, but fixing them on our end. In doing that, what it's done is the highlighted portions of this have confused several people.
Gotcha.
The highlighted portions of these books have already been done for us. Those are things you're supposed to personalize as a district. So we are not adopting necessarily that specific handbook. We already have. That's our student handbook. All the highlights have been filled in with our information. We're looking at the red line,
Okay, gotcha.
if that makes sense. And so that just was confusing. So I will go back to redlining our document and then just spending an extra day undoing the red lines and making it publishable, if that makes sense.
Control Z.
Yeah. In the student handbook, really the main addition there is an AI policy. The inclusion of the AI policy is important for us. Again, everything is AI. But it is important because your administration has already been dealing with handling AI as cheating, and now it just puts it in the student handbook that it is in fact cheating. And so the same consequences as if you were to take Arnie's paper and just copy it will apply in potentially getting a 0 or having to redo the assignment, whatever that is. And now it just puts it in the policy, or in the, it's not a policy, it's a handbook. So that's that's the biggest update to that. I did have a conversation with Ms. Kaz about our behavior matrix, and so we're going to be using the same behavior matrix we used last year, but we may be revamping it. Detention as it is now hasn't really seemed to be the biggest deterrent for some of our more frequent behaviors. That the consequence outlined in our behavior matrix is a detention. We don't escalate it past that, and so we have repeat offenders in those behaviors because, again, what's 30 minutes after school if we show up. So that's something that we will explore. We were exploring that last year, but we will explore that further once we have some more experience with that. The final thing about the student handbook is there is a portion in here about self-administering medication. Students under 6th grade are not allowed to self-administer medication, including insulin or an inhaler. Obviously, an inhaler is self-administered, like even if, but it's to be done in the office with an adult present. They're not supposed to just be using their inhaler. Same thing with insulin. Once they're past the 6th grade, this is new guidance from some state statutes. Students can elect to self-administer. In doing so, after the 6th grade, they have to sign a form relinquishing this district of all liability for any and all mistakes that may happen in their calculation, or essentially they take over the control of administering their life-saving medication, if that makes sense. Okay? Again, that's a statute, so that's why it's in there, because the attorneys would like for us to have that language in here regarding self-administering medication as a protection for the district. Okay?
Alright, is there anything else?
The final piece is we will most likely have to update, once we have a new director, we will update our policy book for our after-school program so that the names are reflected accurately in those documents. And then we will add, before school starts, our preschool for 4-year-olds, because right now it says 5 through 12-year-olds. So we have to change that language. We are actively seeking a director, and so we are trying to maybe not put the cart before the horse a little bit in making sure that they're included in some of those things that happen as far as changing that handbook. I do also have some updated policies for the daycare, but I'm in communication with our daycare director. That's not ready to be approved yet, so maybe look for that to be approved in August. We're going back and forth finalizing some details of the policy book. Okay?
Alright. Is there any questions or concerns for Mr. Olson on the policies and handbooks? Well, we will need a motion to approve the changes in, as he discussed, in the student handbooks, activity handbooks, facility handbooks, after school programming policies, and daycare policies. Is there a motion to approve these handbooks with suggested changes?
I so moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Sorry. I am now seeking a motion to enter into executive session.
Oh, did I get it out of order?
It's out of order.
Sorry.
Do you want me to do that first? Right, because we can make motions after. Yeah, I'm now seeking a motion to enter into executive session 1-25-2 for the purpose of discussing the character and competence, fitness, performance, or qualifications of any current or prospective public officer or employee. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it.